We talk softball, baseball, and beach volleyball on this week's show. We begin with softball, team rolling with 6 wins in a row. And senior shortstop Hannah Clark is with us. Hannah, it's good to be playing well because you head into conference play this weekend with a pair of doubleheaders. How did you guys kind of get it going here after kind of a slow start?
Right. I think just with how many new people we had on the team, it kind of just took a while for us to get together. But I think once we started getting rolling, getting some games in, we kind of all clicked. Everything kind of came together, like defense, offense, everything like that. So when
you lose Paige Murphy, who was an All-American, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment.
Yeah, some people definitely have to step up. So I think that's what we're doing too as well. But
can you believe you're a senior?
No.
I've got a stat.
No.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
Right, yeah, definitely.
I have a stat for you. Going into this week's game, you have one midweek game and then the 2 doubleheaders in conference. Do you realize you have played in 200 games and started 200 games?
Right, yeah. It's gone by so fast that I don't even recognize it until I look back or someone tells me like, hey, you've started every game, and it's like, it's just unbelievable.
You're hitting really well, .354 second on the team, and kind of stepping into the power role, it appears, statistically. 6 home runs to lead the team, also 23 RBIs. So do you feel like you need to provide a little bit more power than you did last year, let's say?
I think this year, actually, I'm hitting more consistently than I am last year. I think last year I was more of a home run hitter, and this year I'm really doing my best to just get those single base hits and things like that, bring in more RBIs. But yeah, this year's definitely more, I'm trying to be more consistent at the plate.
First couple of years you were at second, they moved you over to shortstop. How much different is that in the infield?
I like shortstop a lot better than second just because I have a stronger arm on the team. So I think shortstop, it allows me to also step up as a player because shortstop is I just feel more in command, things like that. But I definitely like shortstop a lot better than second. But I mean, wherever my team needs me, that's where I like to be. So
there were a couple of holes to fill offensively on the team, but in the pitching staff, everybody back, you have 6 pitchers that you could go to. 3 have gotten the bulk of the starts. How does that change the dynamic, knowing that there's depth in the pitching circle?
I like that depth that we have in our pitching circle, especially just being able to know what pitchers pitch what and who we need to face against who, just things like that. It really helps our defense out. I like our pitching staff. They've really stepped up too, especially these past couple of games. They're doing really well. So.
Being from California, I know you as a team won the OVC regular season. Were unable to beat Jacksonville State in the tournament, but got into the National Invitational Softball Championship, won your region. It was a reward for you because back to the California area where you're from, how was that experience?
I loved it. Being able to have my whole family there, especially I have family at home that doesn't like flying or they just can't make the time to come out. So having those people there to support me, it felt amazing. Especially we weren't able to go this year, so I know last year it was kind of a last minute thing hey, if we win this game, we're going to California. So it was kind of nice to just be able to be home and have those people there to support me. So
after a game Wednesday against Western Kentucky, you start 2 OVC games on Friday, a doubleheader, and then Sunday against Jacksonville State, the team that's kind of dominated this conference. Eastern and JSU in the preseason were neck and neck. So how important is it the second doubleheader of the conference season against a team is going to be really good?
Right. It's kind of came up fast because usually we play Jack State at the end of conference, but this year it's the first weekend going in at home. I'm really excited. I know we're gonna have a lot of fans there to support us, and it just feels good. I'm confident with our team, especially if the first season of conference. So. All
right. Good luck this weekend as OVC play starts.
Thank you.
Hannah Clark, shortstop on the softball team. Here's the schedule this weekend as conference play starts. It will be a doubleheader against Tennessee Tech. 4 o'clock first pitch on Friday, second game around 6. Then Sunday, 1 and 3 for the doubleheader against the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. That game will air on ESPN+. And when we come back, we'll continue talking baseball this time as we will meet one of the big hitters on the Colonel baseball team on Inside EKU Sports.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
Take it from me, quitting tobacco isn't easy. It can take several attempts before you can finally quit for good. So if at first you don't succeed, quit. Quit again. And remember, even though quitting is hard, you don't have to do it alone. Quit Now Kentucky is with you every step of the way. For free help quitting tobacco, text QUIT KY to 797979 or go to quitnowkentucky.org.
Time to talk baseball with Nick Howie, a junior right fielder for the baseball team. And you guys got off to a tough start against Morehead State, playing over there, the short right field wall. But you know it's a long haul in the OVC season, and it's here now after a long non-conference play. So how important is it as you go into this weekend's play to kind of get back on track?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last weekend, it's not the result we were looking for. Morehead's a tough spot to play in, obviously with their unique field setup, but we just got to realize that it's very early in the year, and UT Martin this weekend is going to be a big weekend. Be at home and hopefully get ahead, get some good wins leading up into it. But the big thing is just we want to be playing our best baseball down the stretch right before the OVC tournament begins.
You're hitting .394 to lead the team, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, tied for team leadership in those home runs, also doubles with 5. So hitting the ball well so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good start. I think 1 through 9, we've been doing a good job this year of just putting quality at bats together, getting guys on base, and just making the pitcher work for it.
11-8 overall so far, going into a couple of midweek games against non-conference opponents. Then, as we said, the weekend series. What have you liked about this team most? What do you feel like is different, even though you guys had a good run late last year?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing has been the pitching so far this year. The past few years we've been a little inconsistent or getting off to a slow start, then picking it up. But I feel like this year, from the get-go, the beginning of the year in New Orleans, they've just been really good at attacking the zone, not walking many guys. And I think that's really helped us. And then on the other side of it, when you're not out in the field for too long, you get to come back in and hit. I think it just helps the whole team out.
It was warm in New Orleans when you opened in the Andre Dawson Classic, but there's been a lot of cold weather games this year. It's been a cold spring in Kentucky in the end of the winter, but you're from the Toronto area, so you're probably used to playing when it's not ideal baseball weather.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely played in colder than that, but hopefully it'll start warming up, just get the bats going, and I think we're in a good position to just have a really good year.
You're getting hit about 4 out of every 10 at-bats, which is great, but your GPA is even better. It's a 4.0 at EKU in finance. How have you been such a good student as well as such a good athlete?
It's definitely been hard to, you really got to manage your time. I think that's the biggest thing, especially, I mean, the fall, it's not as bad always being at home just practicing and inter-squatting, but come season time when we're always on the road traveling, that's when it really tests you, and you just got to be very diligent in your work and just be able to realize that baseball isn't everything. You got to manage your academics as well.
The OVC gives a Medal of Honor to the one player in each sport who has the best GPA. You've won it twice for baseball in the Ohio Valley Conference. What does that mean to you?
It's truly an amazing honor. Obviously, when I committed to EKU, I wanted to do great things, but I never could have imagined getting the Medal of Honor twice already. So it's just been truly an amazing time here, and just excited to keep it going. I
know you'd love to play pro baseball after college, but after that, with a finance degree, what's your focus going to be, Nick?
Definitely, I want to start probably working in a bank, maybe start up as a teller, and then ultimately I want to end up being a financial advisor. My big thing is, obviously I like managing money and stuff, and if I can help others as well, I mean, that's the dream for me.
So as we talked about, Tennessee Martin is next. How does coach talk to the team, and what's the focus? Because obviously, the old cliche, you have to take it one game at a time, but you have a 3-game set. Does he talk about how to approach a weekend series?
Yeah, I mean, you really do have to focus one game at a time. If you get ahead and you're looking, you're looking to Sunday or another weekend down even. I mean, this season's just too long that you can't do that. So he usually really focuses emphasis on Friday is just about talent. So just their best guy against your best pitcher, and it's just a battle. Saturday is about making adjustments, and then Sunday's will to win. And each day he kind of goes on about that. And it's just making sure you're not looking a game ahead or whatever. You're just focusing on that one game.
Okay, busy week. Good luck out at Combs Stadium to you and the baseball team.
Thank you very much.
That is Nick Howie with the baseball team. Here's the schedule for this weekend in the 3-game series against Tennessee Martin. Start 4 o'clock Friday, 2 o'clock start on Saturday, 1 o'clock Sunday. The Friday and Saturday games will be aired on ESPN. Plus, hope to see you out at Turkey Hughes Field and Combs Stadium. We'll stay on the baseball theme next when we meet a baseball Hall of Famer in the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame. And we'll also talk about the newest sport at EKU, beach volleyball. All that ahead here on Inside EKU Sports.
I chose to come to Eastern because I love being in an environment where I see people like me and see people that are different than me. The EKU does a great job of really bringing everyone together and telling students their potential. I was actually awarded with the opportunity to lead a group of new students through Turner Gate, which is a new tradition at the university. You can be from anywhere in the world, no matter where you are, you'll always be a colonel. And this school does a great job of really bringing that. You're a colonel, I'm a colonel, we're a family. And I just love that about this university.
Is Pickle struggling to get up and down the stairs?
No. Why?
Does she cough a lot or often experience shortness of breath?
No.
Does she hang out with the wrong crowd of dogs?
Say what?
I'm afraid Pickles here is a smoker.
When you smoke, your pet smokes. Quit Now Kentucky offers you the free help you need to quit tobacco. To learn more, text QUIT KY to 797979.
Randy White was a pitcher on the EKU baseball team back in the late 1980s, and he's now in the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame. You started as a long reliever before you became a starter the last 3 years. Always a pitcher. What were all the memories that you had as a baseball player?
Always a pitcher. I remember my freshman year, exactly like you had mentioned. I'd come in late in the game for a relieving role, and there were a few instances where I finished the game, where I pitched the rest of the 4 innings, was on the mound for the last out, and that kind of became a symbol for me for being a starter. And so that's how Coach Ward used me moving on into my career.
What a great coach, Jim Ward. He had to be a role model for the players.
Besides my father, Jim Ward was the had the most impact on me in my life. And am gracious to say that I was able to thank him on a number of occasions that he was a big influence on me in my life.
27-11 was your record, 2-time All-OVC. You were the player of the year your senior year. You guys got to the NCAA tournament.
We did. Now they do a pitcher of the year and player of the year, so I'm quite honored that I was able to get player of the year that year. And as my senior year, there was an old publication called Baseball America. And Smitty, my roommate, brought it, and he said, "Whitey, they're calling you to be the player of the year." And I said, "Oh, great, here we go." I hated to see those kinds of things at the beginning of the season. So as the ace, and I don't mean to be cocky, but I put an ace of spades in my hat, and I wrote POTY, player of the year. And that was my motivation during that whole year. And every time I took the mound, I said, they're calling me the player of the year, and by gosh, I'm going to get it. And I was fortunate enough to get the votes.
You had 2 years in the minors, but you had that foundation at EKU to be a successful businessman as well. And you've done that with a graphics company. So kind of put the link between what it meant to be an athlete and a student athlete at EKU and how it's translated to what you're doing now.
Well, and that kind of goes back to Coach Ward running a tight ship. Coach Ward required to be on time. He required to be clean shaven. We had to have our hair cut short. So 4 years of a regiment schedule, I think, developed something inside of me that was able to continue on to my business career. And so as we mentioned earlier, I've did the printing and graphic arts here at EKU. and I was able to get right into that industry, and I've been in it ever since.
And much of the signage or the graphic look on EKU athletic facilities is from your company.
We've done many projects, and I have Dan McBride to thank. Dan and I go way back, almost 30 years now, and back in the early 2000s, he called on me, and I said, this is what we can do, Dan, and every year I'm probably here visiting EKU at least 8 to 10 times with a new project.
Yeah, Dan McBride, a long time in the athletics department, former colleague of mine in radio and on the broadcast, and now the head of alumni affairs at EKU. So what does it mean to still be a colonel, Randy?
Well, I often joke that I'm the eternal colonel, and EKU is my second home, living in Cincinnati now. And I just have such a neat comfort level when I get down here. If my business wasn't in Cincinnati, I think I'd be living closer to Richmond, maybe doing something down here. But it means the world to me. I just, feel so overwhelmed that this has happened in my life. And, I've always felt like good things happen to good people, and I think we're good people. And I think I've just been so fortunate to keep it running.
Your induction, well-deserved. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Randy White, baseball pitcher here at EKU, now in the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame.
We are more than just athletes. We inspire scholars. We inspire leaders. We inspire champions. We inspire family. This is the Ohio Valley Conference.
We talk volleyball now, and at Eastern we'll talk both indoor and beach now. And Sydney Schoen is a freshman that is on the beach volleyball team as well as the indoor. And you guys opened your first ever season with 4 games, 3 of them against nationally ranked teams. What's that experience like? Because I know it's a whole lot different than indoor.
Yeah, being in South Carolina this weekend was so much fun. The atmosphere is so much different. It was just a lot of fun to be out in the sun and be playing really great teams.
So how do you think it will help you for indoor season? Because it is a different dynamic.
Yeah, as far as a training aspect, it's really great because you're running and jumping in the sand, so you're getting in much better shape. And then as far as communication goes, the coaches can't really coach you, so it's just between you and your partner, and you have to figure out, what works best for you, and just really communicating with your partner.
You came from Columbus, Indiana, here to EKU, but good reasons. Your dad, Jerry, played baseball. Your mom, Becky, played volleyball here. They met here at Eastern Kentucky. So it was kind of obvious that at least EKU would be in your potential plans in college.
Yeah, it's really cool because my parents both played here, so being able to play where my parents played it's really great.
What did they tell you about why you should go to EKU? Were they involved at all in your decision?
They were involved in my recruiting process, but they kind of let me make the decision for myself. Whenever I came to EKU, I really just fell in love. They had mentioned it, but it really being at the campus was really whenever I decided. They didn't really try to persuade me one way or another.
You're valedictorian of your class, and also you've got a prestigious award. They honor in Indiana what's called the Mental Attitude Award, and you won it in both volleyball and track, which is quite an honor. So I know academics are important to you.
Yeah, it was really great to get those 2 awards, and very honoring, just because seeing all your hard work pay off was just in the end, and seeing the end result, it was really great to have, and just getting those recognitions was really nice.
Academics important to you, and balancing that with your sports activities and your classroom work.
Yeah, it was Time management is really key when trying to balance everything. You know, when you need to like study for an exam, or, you know, planning out when you need to do your homework or your assignments, is time management has really been really what I've been focusing on.
So indoor, you have a new coach. She was your assistant. Jonna Fausch last year was under Lori Duncan. So it's going to be different, but it's going to be familiar in some way. So how's the transition been as you deal with beach and now you go to indoor next fall?
Yeah, Jonna's been doing a really good job as far as, you know, helping us transition from indoor and beach. We have a whole new coaching staff, and they're bringing in some new ideas, and the atmosphere is a little bit different, but overall they're doing a really great job with the program, and they're just helping us out. And, you know, as far as beach goes, we're all new to it, but they're doing a great job of, like, you know, encouraging us and like telling us to stick with it, and just it's been overall really great.
You, a week from Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, it's March 26th, you play over at Morehead State. So that'll be fun, another team in the conference to play.
Yeah, it'll be really fun to see how we match up with someone in our conference, and just being able to play a familiar team it'll be a lot of fun. And defensive specialist for the indoor team. I know your role with Chloe Rojas gone, yours and others. Somebody's going to have to step in and be the defensive stopper. Yeah, just, you know, I'm going to keep doing my job and keep working hard. So just see how it works out. Yeah, it's all you can do is give it your best. I know your mom and dad are proud of you. Another colonel. What's it meant so far to? And you're just in your first year, but do you feel like it's family already for you? Yeah, like even when I was here on my visit, like all the girls were so welcoming, and I just feel like we're all really close, and I just feel part of the family. All right, Sydney, appreciate it. Thank you. Good to talk to you. And that'll do it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. You can always keep up with EKU Athletics by liking and following all of our social media pages. And as always, go Big E.